This is the tutorial for Indice I. Let's start. So evaluate 4 to the power of 3. So we can break this down or use a calculator. However, for practice, let's not use a calculator. Okay. So we have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. So 16 times 4. So 16 times 4 will be 64. Okay. And then 2. Negative 4 to the power of 3. Okay, there's a bracket here, so the exponential factor is negative 4. Okay. The initial value is 1, that is not shown. So we have negative 4, negative 4, negative 4. Actually, I do not need the multiplication sign here because the bracket already shows multiplication. So, and we have, so negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. 16 times negative 4 will be negative 64. Okay. Oh, and here, these two are different because now the base or the exponential factor is 4 positive, and negative 1 is multiplied to it. So the negative 1 is the initial value. Okay. So if we are doing this, then negative 1 times, okay, this is 64. And we have negative 64. Okay, although we get the same result, but they mean different things. Okay. Number 4. Negative 2 to the power of 4. So we have negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, negative 2. So we have 4 negative numbers multiplied together. 2 of them multiplied together will give a positive answer, and positive times negative is negative, and the negative result from these 3 times the negative number will be positive numbers. So in general, we have 4 or even numbers of even number of negative numbers multiplied together, we will get a positive answer. Okay. So 2, 4, 8, 16, positive 16. Okay. Oh, similar situation. These two and these two. So this is negative 1 times positive 2 to the power of 4. Negative 1 times 2, 4, 8, 16. So, oh, this time the results are different. Okay. So see, these two are different. Okay. So, because this one, the initial value is 1, and the exponential factor is negative 2. For this one, the initial value is negative 1, and the exponential factor is 2. Okay. Both of them have the same power of 4. And number 6, again, we change this to in this form. So negative 1, or the exponential form. So negative 1 times negative 2 to the power of 4. Okay. So then 1 times this one, we did it here. This one is exactly the same as this one. So it is a 16. 1 to the power of 4 is 16 positive. And we have a negative 16. Okay. And number 7. 3 is the initial value times 4 times 4. Okay. So 3 times 16. This is 16. 3 times 16, 48. Okay, this one is 3 times 4, 4. So similarly, it is 16. Negative 3 times 16. So negative number times a positive number should give a negative number. So which is negative 48. And number 9, 3 times negative 4 squared. So negative 4, okay. So this is a positive 16. So we're negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So 3 times positive 16, 48 positive. Okay. Number 10. Negative 3 times negative 4 squared. So negative 3 times negative 4 times negative 4. This is positive 16. So negative 3 times positive 16. Then we have negative 48. Okay. Number 11. 6 times 6 times 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 36, 216. Okay. You can check that on calculator. And 6 plus 6 squared. So be careful when we're dealing with indices and we see plus or negative sign. We have to be careful. So because for this one, actually there's another way to do this. I can change this to 6 to the power of 1 times 6 to the power of 2. Okay. Oh, then we can finally use our rules here. Okay. If we use this rule, then x is 6, a is 1, and b is 2. Then we have this is equal to 6, 1 plus 2. And this is equals to 6 to the power of 3, which is 216. Okay. And however, for number 12, we cannot use this rule because this is a plus. So we have to do it normally. 6 plus 6. Okay. So this is a 36. So 6 plus 36 is a 42. Number 13, we have 6 over 6 squared. Okay. So actually whenever we can use the rule, we should be using the rules. Okay. So for this one, we can use this rule. Because I can change the 6 to 6 to the power of 1. It's the same value. And 6 to the power of 2. Now x is 6. A is 1 and B is 2. You can definitely use this rule. And we have equals to 6 to the power of 1 minus 2. And this is 6 to the power of negative 1. Oh, and then we have to use this rule as well. 6 to the power of negative 1 is 1 over 6 to the power of 1. Which is 1 over 6. Okay. Although we cannot use the rules and do it normally, so 6 over 36 and then simplify the fraction and then 1 over 6. Yeah. But we are practicing in this, so yeah. So number 14, 6 minus 6 squared. So actually if we have talked about factorization, we can use factorization. However, we haven't talked about that yet. We'll talk about that later. So let's do it the normal way. So equals to 6 minus 6 squared. So equals to 6 minus 36 is equals to negative 13. Okay. And here, 0 to the power of 6. What does that mean? So if we turn to in the exponential form, the initial value is 1, because it's not shown, so it is 1, times 0 to the power of 6. Oh, the land absorbed the potato. So now, because this is 1 times 0 times 0 times 0 times 0 times 0 times 0. So actually 1 0 is enough, right? Yeah. So but 6 zeros, so anyway, we'll get 0. Okay. And then this one, number 16. 5 to the power of -3. So we can use this one. Is equals to 1 over 5 to the power of 3. So x is 5 here, n is 3 here. And we have 5 times 5 times 5. This is 125. Okay. Number 17. We can use the addition one. Because we can turn this 5 to the power of 1, and then 5 to the power of -3. So it's equals to 5, 1 plus -3. Okay. Which means equals to 5, 1 minus 3. And then it's equals to 5 to the power of -2. Then we use this one, so we have 1 over 5 squared. So 5 squared is 5 times 5 is 25. So it's equal to 1 over 25. Okay. And number 18. 5 to the power of -3. This is -3. Yeah. 5 to the power of -3 over 5 is equals to, using the lower rule, 5 -3 minus 1. Oh, because 5 is equivalent to 5 to the power of 1. So this is -3 minus 1. Okay. Using this rule. No, I'm saying this rule. Okay. So we have 5 to the power of -4. So we have 1 over 5 to the power of 4. And then this is 1 over 6 to 5. Okay. So this power 5 to the power of 3 times 5. This times 5 is this. So yeah. And number 19. So we can use this rule. Is equals to 4 to the power of -2 plus 2. Okay. Oh, this will give us 4 to the power of 0. And we can use this one. And this is equal to 1. Okay. We didn't plant the potato. And the initial value is 1. Okay. So number 20. And we can use this rule. So 4 to the power of -2 plus -2. Then we have 4 to the power of -2 minus 2. Then we have 4 to the power of -4. Then use this rule. Is equals to 1 over 4 to the power of 4. This is 1 over 64 times 4. 60 times 4. 6. 256. Okay. And 21. 4 to the power of -2 over 4 to the power of -2. Okay. So because the numerator and denominator are same number, this is just 1. Right? Yeah. However, we can still use the indice way to do this. So then we use this rule. This is equals to 4 to the power of -2 minus -2. This is 4 to the power of -2 plus 2. So it's 4 to the power of 0. And similar to here, it is 1. Okay. Number 22. So these two in this form has different exponential factor. So when this happens, we probably cannot use the rules. Okay. So and then this is equals to 1 over 3 squared times 4 times 4, which is 16. So we have 1 over 3 times 3 is 9 times 16. So we have 16 over 9. Okay. Number 23. So different exponential factor. So we do it normally. At the top, we can still use. We can always use this one. So in the denominator we have 1 over 3 square back fraction, and then on the denominator we have 1 over 4 squared. Okay. So in the back fraction we resolve the longer fraction line first. So this is equals to 1 over 3 squared is divided by 1 over 4 squared. And divide means multiply the inverse of that. So times the inverse of this. So the numerator and the denominator has to switch place. It's 4 squared over 1. Okay. And we have 1 over 9 times 16 over 1. Again, we have 16 over 9. You see, these two has the same value. Because this 4 squared is equivalent to 1 over 4 to the power of -2. Okay. So what does that mean? 1 over 4 to the power of -2. So is equivalent to 1 over. This is the original 1 over, and then for 4 to the power of -2, if we use this one, we have another 1 over square. Okay. This is a longer fraction line. So we have 1 over 4 squared. This is equal to 1 is divided by 1 over 4 squared. Dividing means multiply the inverse of that. So 1 times 4 squared over 1. And this is a 4 square, right? So yeah, that's why 4 square and the 1 over 4 to the power of -2 here is the same thing actually. That's why these two give the same answer. Yeah. So 24, 3 times 0 to the power of 0. So when you use this one, So the land is not suitable to plant a potato. We have 3 potatoes. However, we did not plant a potato. So the 3 potatoes are saved. And we have 3. And 25. Okay. So there's -4 to the power of -3. Then for this one, we solve the indices first. So 1 over -4 to the power of 3. Okay. Using this rule. And we have 1 over -4, -4, -4. So 3 negative numbers multiplied together is odd number of negative numbers multiplied together. We should get a negative number. And 4 times 4 is 16, 16 times 4 is 64. So we have 1 over -64. And one of the numerator or denominator is negative, then the whole fraction is negative. 26. -2 to the power of -1. So we solve the indices first. So 1 over -2 to the power of 1. The power of 1 is just that's nothing. So 1 over -2. Then 27. Oh, we can use the minus rule. So we have -3 to the power of -4 minus -5. Oh, this has to be bracketed. Okay? If I didn't have the bracket, it is another thing. So and it's equals to -3, -4 plus 5, -3, -4 plus 5 is +1. Then, oh, 1 season, so, yeah. Alright, so this is the tutorial for Indice I. See you in Indice II.